see how. There it is. Wow, you've got to like dig for this. All right. So, hey to everybody, being myself. Yes, we still have Christmas lights up because my kids asked me to keep them up. Ooh. There we go. We'll mute it. This is interesting. All right, I've never done. Okay. We'll see what happens in this whole ordeal, but excuse me. Our computer's getting ready to peace out. All right, so there we go. I started the chat. There, yay. So for everybody that is new to this whole deal, I'm Melanie, and I am the whole Naked Lady Mandalas package. This is me. I really enjoy doing artwork. I do not like being on camera. I do not like doing these conversations, but I'm trying to branch out into a new way of being when it comes to all of this. And I just did a podcast with my friend Joelle, which is featured on her page, The Vibrary. And she's a wonderful woman. She's doing wonderful things in the world and helping us to see things a little bit differently than what we've been exposed to in the past. And so she suggested that I get out and do some card reading for people. Since I'm not all about cards, since I am also a lot about artwork, I wanted to incorporate that as well. So I have a new, we'll call it a canvas. It's a really cool wooden circle I found at one of the craft stores, and I painted it. And so I painted it in this like faded pattern. And of course the camera's not picking it up as well as it could be, but that's okay. So I'm going to paint on camera and talk to you guys, and you guys can join in on conversation, and I will hopefully be seeing a little bit of that here to the side. During this time, I would like to draw some cards from the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Comes with a lovely book. This was the first deck of cards I ever bought. Changed my life. So awesome job, Alana Fairchild. This is the Mandala Healing Oracle, and this one is by Denise Jarvie, and artwork was by Lindy Longhurst. And these cool cards are here, and they're little circles, and they've got wonderful artwork. And so let's see how. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait. I'm gonna flip the phone around. That's what we're gonna do. Welcome to my house. Welcome to the inside of my nose. Wait. We'll go like this. Ta-da! So this is our mandala we'll be working on tonight. Hope y'all can hear me. I couldn't find my headphones. So here we are. This is sacred geometry, which is created as a collection of circles. And so you start with this first circle here. You then go to I call it north, but it's not north, it's actually south. You go to the top of the circle from wherever your perspective is. You go to the bottom of the circle, top of the circle, draw a circle. Bottom of the circle, draw a circle. And then I hit the points that those circles created. And thus you get a 6-petal pattern. And this is the seed of life. And this is what a lot of fruit is created to be, or created from, the skeleton of like the patterns and designs that come in fruit. When you chop an apple in half, you will see geometry. When you chop an orange in half, you will see geometry. And so that's how these mandalas usually start. Sometimes I go all freehand and get all crazy with myself and just let myself be free with it. But most of the time I stick to this because I'm a Virgo and I like consistency and I like things to be exact, you know? So with all that said, we are going to get a little bit of paint on the palette. Oh, this is like Bob Ross, guys. I've done this in the past, but I'm going to do it again and do something different with my life. I kind of wish I had a little piece of paper. See, I'm not, I was wanting a paint pen to do this with, but apparently it's going to be a paintbrush, and that is okay. A-okay. I meant to do it with a paintbrush. As much as I stomp my feet about it, I recognize that I'm good with the paintbrush and I just got to use it. So we're going to be doing a white mandala, as you can see. We're just going to allow the paint to gently flow at the tip of the brush. You can use as wide of a brush as you would like. You can use as skinny of a brush as you would like. I really enjoy a fine, detailed line, as fine as I can get, but that's just me. You might want your mandala to be fuzzy. Let it be fuzzy. Let it be whatever kind of a mandala it wants to be. But the first way I start with these circle designs is that I go and I outline what I see first. And I'll do all sorts of different circle patterns. We're going to start simply with the 6 petal guy. The next video I do, I'll make it a different pattern, but I find that these are usually the easiest to work with for folks learning. All right, and so since you can't ever do a step one, or excuse me, since you can't ever do something in life one time, you have to do it a multitude of different times. We're going to go back over those lines and just slowly and gently take a second coat to them. Everything in this life seems to be in repetition. Every lesson, every journey, you got to do it a million times to get good at it. This is a conversation I had with Lulu today in regards to math. She doesn't want to do her math and she fights me on it, and I'm busy doing stuff and it gets pushed to the side, and then it takes so much longer and it's so much harder. But if we had like practiced every day, just a little bit every day, it would make it a much easier journey. So I need to get back into practicing mandalas every day. I noticed that was something that's like missing from my life, is I miss my artwork. I get burned out over the summertime and I take my step back, but now it's time to get back into it. Spring is here. We got to make these flowers blossom, right? So the next step I tell people to do is we're going to add a buddy line. Well, what is a buddy line, Melanie? Well, a buddy line is a line that follows the similar shape of the first petal. And apparently the paintbrush has a mind of its own, and that's okay. Made a little bit of a wider petal than I had anticipated, but everything happens for a reason, guys, so we just gotta let it flow. Just gotta let it flow. And if those petals aren't exactly the same as the other petals, that's okay too. Let it flow. If you feel like your hand is a little bit more shaky than you want it to be, that's okay too. Let it flow. You just keep moving forward. And it took me months and years to be able to handle a paintbrush. I found it much easier to use Sharpies and fine line pens and the basics to work with before ever picking up a paintbrush to begin to express myself in this way with the artwork. It was super scary to begin with, like to try. So the next step after this, we've given a buddy line, we've traced the original petals. I always tell people the next step is to draw some kind of a petal up to this circle here. So you see this first initial circle. That's circle number 1 that we have to draw. You got to first get your base. I'm so bad on live videos. It'll get better one day. So we can draw a wide petal where it's like a wider shape. Draw a super duper skinny petal if we wanted to. We can draw a petal that looks very similar to the ones that we just drew. We can draw a triangle that comes up and mimics this shape here, which actually might look really cool. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. You can do whatever you want on your mandala because it's your mandala. So I hope that you make your own choices. And the really cool thing is I give these same directions to every single person that I teach. And every single mandala comes out completely different because everybody's brains interprets it like so different than the last person. Like, and I'll say it the exact same way every time. There's infinite possibilities, infinite shapes, infinite interpretations of the directions that I'm giving. And so now we're getting into the spinny stage, and that's just so I'm not getting paint all over my hand. And by having a point of contact with the canvas or giant wooden disc, it makes it easier to stay steady. I really try to like go with whatever guidance I'm given, like, oh, put a line there. This little spot here, I don't know if you can see it very well on camera, but that was a little drip of paint that seemed to like harden before I had a chance to go and smear it around with the other stuff. And so it's like permanent fixture in this guy. I even tried to go over the colors again, and that red wanted to stand out, but it's meant to be there. That's the cool thing. The imperfections are meant to be there. So now we have drawn that shape. We're going to give it another body line. This time, I'm going to do something different, and it's not going to be following the shape. It's going to be a different shape, so like a contrasting shape than the original line. We got rabbits and they be digging in the hay. Little critters. So something else that's hard for me is to talk while I'm doing these because I just want to live in mandala la la land. Mandala la la. That'll be a t-shirt one day. In mandala la la land, just painting away because you know what? I feel really happy and at peace when I'm in this place. And I don't know how much I'm missing it until I start doing it again, that I'm like, God, I miss that feeling. So we've given a body line, something else in the shape. We don't want to get too crazy though. Sometimes I see people making like a lot of patterns and stuff because they get scared of what they're seeing. Embrace the simplicity. And that also goes for life. Embrace the simplicity of life. I already got paint all over me and I just started. This is craziness. Embrace the simplicity of life. When you do that, it's a gift to be simple. It's a gift to be free. Like the less drama, the less stuff, the less money, the less like the less there is, the more simple life is. And so that goes for mandalas as well. When you're starting out, it's way easier to keep it simple. And all those years that I put in with the black and whites, and last year I definitely got into a more simple habit with them because people said, wow, they're really complicated and hard to color. It's like, okay, well, you know what? They came from a really complicated part of my life. That's why they looked like that. I was going through the complications to an nth degree during the times that I did my most complicated work. You know what? Those mandalas healed me on such a really amazing level in a way that I never thought was even possible. Chris, stop it. Yelling at the poor bunnies. They're just living their best little life that they can. So I think at this point we should probably draw a card. Why not, right? So we've done our buddy lines. We are keeping it simple so far. Something I like to do though, see the end of this? This is always fun. So you dip the end in paint, and then if you're really gentle and apply consistent pressure down, you create little dots. I'm going to make this one a little bigger because that one was a little bigger. Let me tell you, this isn't the easiest making dots on a circle board. Probably should have headphones in for the microphone so I don't have to talk so loud. I wish there was a pause button on the camera. Do, do, do. So there's that. We got some dots up in there. And since I don't really care about my clothes, I'm going to wipe it on them. I've had this sweatshirt for like 4 years. My daughter's down there talking in her sleep. So yeah, I'm covered in paint. Oh, I was going to draw a card. See? We'll see how this unfolds for the journey. I'm also going to have to clean my brush. So you can kind of see that the paint's falling off on the end. I didn't ever know how to do this stuff until later on, but let me grab some water. It's all about that cleansing water, right? So this is a good interlude. Always dry your paintbrushes on their side so this part doesn't get all gunked up and yucky. We've got some honeydew and orange and something else in there, maybe lemon. I'm going to go for this one. So we cleanse the cards, and in my head I'm saying something like, divine benevolent beings of the highest realms of unconditional love and light, please bless and cleanse these cards. Please cut any cords or ties to any negative energies that may have been associated to these cards now or in any past lifetime. I also cleanse myself. And then I begin to ask for a message. Ooh. Read the energy. Ooh, I like that they're getting painted. So this is Ascended Master Merlin and Mystic Merlinite. And we have Daring Rebirth. So these are cool cards. Read the energy in Daring Rebirth. Somebody in one of my classes drew a mandala just like this the other day. So with the Read the Energy card, it's so important that you take a feel and a gut instinct, listen to the energy that's around you, the energy of your workplace, the energy of the people around you, the energy of your family that may be around you. Take a read of the energy. Take a read of the energy collectively. Think about what is happening and what's going on around you and listen. Your body, your mind, your heart, your soul might be telling you something completely different than what society would tell you is the right answer. Through reading the energy, through listening to yourself, through listening to your guidance, you're going to be able to establish and go through an amazing, daring rebirth that you may never have expected, never have anticipated. So these cards we're going to move up here for right now. I'm a messy artist, but I think we all are. I'm going to embrace the messy. So here's for story time. I'm going to not spin the camera. Give me one more second. I'm sorry I'm unorganized. I'm going to try one more time to find those headphones. All right, so how funny that we find things in the places that we least expect them. But I'm somebody that usually puts all my stuff away exactly at the same place so I can find it. We are a family of 5 living in a pretty tight space at the moment, and that's okay. We've lived here for 3 years, but I now am running 2 businesses out of my home, and it's a little bit tight. We're in vacation style home, so there's like no closet space and no extra room for storage and stuff like that that comes with living in a house full time. We don't have a pantry, that kind of deal. No entryway closet, like you walk in and there's no place to put shoes or coats, but these are like rich people problems. Not that like we're definitely not loaded, but anyways, I digress. I got on this journey of mandalas by listening to the energy, by listening to what my heart was telling me to do, not listening to what other people were telling me to do. I forgot I had to turn it. I got onto this journey of health and wellness by not listening to what anybody else was telling me to do. I've had many people tell me that I'm crazy. Basically, my entire family tells me that I'm crazy. But actions and results speak louder than anything else. And that tells the truth in the end, right? And so by listening to my heart, by listening to my soul, by listening to what I was being told by divine guidance, however you see the divine, I was able to come off prescription medication. I was able to permanently and consistently lose weight and transform my body over a 6.5 year time period to levels I never thought I was capable of seeing or becoming. I was able to transform myself behaviorally and mentally in ways that doctors laughed in my face when I even suggested the possibility of coming off medication. But through that, I've become the healthiest person that I ever thought I could become. By listening to that guidance, I'm able to overcome so many different challenges that arise in my life with a happy and positive attitude, and just like shit happens and we got to move forward. And I feel like my healing rate increases the healthier I get. And no matter the injury, I just keep getting up and like dusting myself off. And I'm like, all right, it's like a video game. Like, you fix yourself with the little first aid pack and then you feel better and you're able to continue on. And so many people around me I'm noticing are like really stuck in this place of pain and unable to move forward. And I know that it's because of not wanting to accept that the reality that they've lived and breathed for the last entire part of their lives is a complete and utter lie. So when I talk about reading the energy with these cards and talking about the rebirth that comes from that, once you shed those toxic energies, once you shed those toxic behaviors, once you shed those toxic friendships, the ones where like the people aren't really your friend, they pretend to be, but then they say shit to you that you're like, wow, that's kind of like mean and painful. Why did they say that? Those people aren't your friends. And it's time that we accept that and we like let that shit go, because that only hinders you and only holds you back. And you're doing nobody a favor by continuing to allow people to treat you that way. Speaking from experience. Yeah. Woo. So you can see how long this whole journey takes. Those bunnies. I hope you can hear them banging around. That's Gandalf Thundernoodle making quite a racket. I think I said this, but you want to clean your brush about every 30 minutes, or otherwise it gets gummed up on there. Sometimes it still gets gummed up, especially as your paint's drying out. So we're going to kind of mixy up the paint real quick. And get back at it. So I'm probably going to do this with white, but then like add a gold outline. I'm not officially sure yet. We're going to see how it goes. I know that my circle placements are really funky. I'm going to have to go all in and buy like some fancy ass compass, because the quality, my friends, of getting a compass these days is not, it's disappointing to say the least. And you know what? I might as well just like, when I'm doing murals, I'm using giant pieces of thread, or like not thread, but that stuff you make bracelets with. And I tie knots along the string length, and then I use the end of the compass that I pull off, wrap the string around it, and then use a pencil on the other end of the string. And there's different knots along the string that I choose to do is like not diameter, is it diameter? The radius of the circle. And you know, our whole lives are a circle, guys. If you didn't already know. Our whole lives are a circle, a journey. You go out the exact way that you came in, naked And sometimes at peace or sometimes afraid. It just depends on the choices and decisions you make. As a previous hospice nurse, I started believing in the afterlife when I saw the looks on some of my patients' faces, the ones that didn't have anybody come visit them when they were there. Those people always had this really terrified look on their face when the end was near. Definitely woke me up to the paranormal. It's funny they call it the paranormal when it's like past what we would qualify as normal, but that's life too. Hope y'all are enjoying doing some mandalas with me. And if you're tuning in at a later date, I appreciate you being here. And I hope this video is finding you right when you're meant to see it. Oh, I got to figure out how to wait. Nope, I lied. That's not going to work either. It's all getting up in my business. What if we wrap it around? And hang this up over here. Just put the other headphone in. You know, this is our first try. We're going to make mistakes. It's going to look like a kindergartner made this video, just like my first mandala did, but it's going to be okay. So now we have all these shapes. I'm going to come back over here. Got a huge glob of paint. I use really thick paint too. I don't know why. I use enamel, but it moves too fast and it scares me. So I did that on our on the hand pan drug for my friend Fleck and his wife of Speckled Stone Soundcraft, and used enamel paint, painted it outside. Part of the reason I'm not doing enamel on here, I did really enjoy using it, but it is thin. You can mix it wrong and it's too thin, or then you like let it dry out, I guess, because that's what I did and it worked. But yeah, it's like a permanent paint that never is going to fail you and never going to come off. We'll see how long it lasts. It is a hand pan drum, so it's going to get a lot of use other than like a canvas, or this wouldn't. Who knows what this journey of this mandala is going to be, but we'll see what it turns into and what it becomes. So our next step from this point is going to be to come up to this circle here. So there's a circle there, a circle there, a circle there, a circle there, there. And what I like to do is I don't like to freehand large edges of circle. Why don't I like to freehand large edges of circle? Well, we are not perfect. Circles are perfect, except these ones because I didn't use a perfect compass. But if you use a perfect compass, circles are perfect. If we are trying to freehand something as an imperfect thing, human, it's going to be wobbly. If you like wobbly, that's cool. Live your best life. And you know what? With wobbly, I kind of want to like make it wobbly. I want to do it. So we are going to do it. But normally I would draw some kind of a petal up to this point. I would do an opposite petal like this. And then I would draw the circle. I'm really feeling this like wobbly pattern. So we're going to do it. And I'm going to follow the shape of the circle, but try to keep my weeble wobbles within the context of that circle. So just following that line, allowing the flow of the paintbrush. Do not give any fucks to how this turns out, ever, because you will think it's really bad. A lot of people do. That's totally normal. Everybody else that sees it will be like, holy shit, how did you do that? So just don't give any fucks. Allow all the fucks to go. I used to care so much about certain lines, and if I did a line wrong, or I forgot a step, or I did something, or it didn't work out the way I wanted it to, I used to lose my dang mind. I used to be so upset, freak out, cry. because that's how much of a perfectionist I was, and I needed to let go of said perfectionism. So enjoy the journey of like what is being told to you. Listen to that gut instinct. Read the energy of the mandala, read the flow. Embrace the unexpected outcomes, right? As I look around, I'll see different things pop out at me, and I'm like, oh, that line could be smoother, or that line could be darker, and I'll kind of use the extra paint on the brush and go back over some spots. Take a review of like the things that we've done in our past and how we can like make them a little bit shinier. I swear that everything mandala can be transferred to life and be wisdom of life. Everything. So from here, I want to make these triangles stand out a little bit more. And so we're just going to do some simple patterning in here. I'm going to just do little half hash marks instead of whole hash marks. Normally I do whole ones. We're going to mix it up today. Sometimes your brush doesn't work the way you want it to. That's okay. Just embrace whatever comes out, whatever flow happens. I've taught people from the ages of 4 to 80 how to do these. Even very young children, ages 2 and 3, can figure out the concepts of patterning objects like leaves and sticks if you teach them. I feel like this is genetic wisdom and things that people and humans have been doing for centuries, but we've just forgotten. I was drawing 5-petal flowers. If I had a piece of paper, I'd draw one for you, but I don't. But 5-petal flowers, I was drawing them since I was a young child. And I never knew how it progressed past that first initial, oh, I made a mistake, y'all. Wait, did I? No, I didn't. I didn't. Oh, gosh. I made these 5-petal flower patterns my whole childhood, high school, while I was depressed in high school, going through suicidal ideation and being bullied and all of the things. I drew these little petal patterns, but it was only one. It was 5, and it's just little, I don't know, like chickweed. And then the first mandala I ever drew was off a YouTube video. Couldn't even tell you the person. It was so long ago. And we began the video, and she started with a 5-petal mandala, the same that I had always drawn my whole entire life. And I was like, holy shit, I've been meant to do this my whole life and never knew that that's what was supposed to be coming out of me. So I believe that people all have these capabilities, but we've forgotten and we've been told that that wasn't what we were supposed to be doing. Who knows? Here I'm going to be putting in this circle background and following the line, but only for a short blip of time. I really enjoy teaching people how to draw them, even if they don't continue to draw them. I know that it helps them in the time that they're learning. And I'm so grateful for this healing modality. Like, I'm a calmer person. I'm a less anxious person. I am a more grounded person because of these circles, because of these designs, because of this flow that I get into doing this project, doing the art. So the next step we are going to do is to fill in this space here. We're going to stick something in there, and I don't want to go all the way to this weeble wobble line that we've done. Why? Well, actually, we're going to finish this weeble wobble line. I see DNA. Do you see DNA? Well, watch. You're going to see some DNA. Does it have to be perfect? Nope. Is DNA perfect? Nope. Well, that was fun. And I didn't even know that's where it was going. All right, so now I got to figure out. I think I got it. Doing these designs puts you into a state of conscious meditation because it switches your brain from right to left hemisphere, especially when you're trying to make these patterns and create these patterns, and you have to go different directions and keep symmetrical all at the same time. Very challenging to the mind. It's like brain games on the devices. Do these instead, yo. It'd be cool to figure out how to record these videos and then time lapse them and put them in as like shorts. I wish I was technology creative. Dreaming one day, maybe there will be a tech team to help me out with all the videos, right? Except I won't sell the rights to my artwork like Bob Ross did. R.I.P. Bob. Sorry you got fucked in the afterlife. Well, he probably didn't get. He's painting up in the afterlife. His family got fucked in in this life. But everything happens for a reason, and maybe that whole debacle, if you don't know about it, you should go check it out. I think it was a special on Netflix. They ended up with all the rights to Bob's artwork, and like his family didn't have any rights to it, and the people are just still profiting off the Bob Ross franchise, and it's really sad. Like his son can't even use Bob's name to like get ahead. Hey to whoever signed on. It doesn't tell me. But hey, so we are making a mandala tonight and having a live chat. I'm signed in to another account to watch the chat. And yeah, so here we're at. You'll have to flip back, but got ourselves a nice little paint palette and some titanium white on the palette. We're making some mandalas. And I am a weirdo, and that's okay because it's 11:54 at night and I am up painting. But it feels good. That's why we do it. So we're filling in this space here. We're going to stick something in there. What are we going to stick? I'm going to do something like this. I'm going to put a half circle here. A half circle here, because what we do to the one spot, we're going to do again and again and again. That's the really cool thing too about mandalas. You make a new shape and you get to practice it however many times you need to practice it to get around the circle. So then you get really good at it by the end. That used to drive me nuts too, because I would like get to the end and be like, wow, that one was so good and the first one sucks. But that one's not the best, but that's okay. We just keep going. We accept it for what it is. So what are we going to do? We're going to give it a buddy line because everybody needs a buddy in this life. Hello, buddy line. Just take your time. The cool thing about using paint and paintbrushes instead of using markers, yeah, the markers are more precise, but you don't really get to like feel the flow and kind of control the flow like you can with a paintbrush. You get what you get with the markers. So this is cool. So I'm getting ready to draw another card or a couple of cards. I'm doing a little bit of an oracle card reading with this mandala creation, reading the collective energy. The two cards we got before were from the Crystal Mandala Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild, which was my very first deck I ever purchased. And the messages were, read the energy, daring rebirth. By reading that energy, we are able to rebirth ourselves and become something new, eliminating toxic energies, eliminating toxic situations, putting some little suns in here. Every little shape has I believe has symbolism behind it. And turn your brush a little bit and get the other side for the paint dispersal. Blah, 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 blah. I think I'm going to be doing these live videos a couple times a week. I feel like it's a great therapy session to sit and joke around and laugh and draw lines and dots on paper. Probably should figure out a good time to do it when people got time on their hands and maybe you're able to take a moment to step back and relax. We're at 47 minutes. That's okay. Life's gotten to the point that we're being programmed that everything has to be fast. It's got to be now. It's got to be instant because the attention span of humans has dwindled to like a whopping 5 seconds. And mandalas help to get us back into that present moment, into the now, into the conscious meditative state. So that's how we start to build it from the center going out. I think I'm going to leave it there for tonight, and we will venture off into these spaces on our next adventure together. If you have not yet created a background, which you probably haven't, but if you're coming across this video, you should go check out my video that I will try to link in the description box below, how to draw these patterns. Other folks out there have them too, so if I don't do that, you can go find it on your own. If you truly want to learn the power of mandala, and by painting these, you are healing yourself, which is healing your immediate surroundings, which is healing your immediate family surrounding you, and which is healing the world. So come join the Naked Lady Mandalas journey. Why am I Naked Lady Mandalas? Not because I get naked, but because, excuse me, I bear my naked soul. I talk about anything. I help folks heal through anything because I've really experienced a whole shitload of like stuff in the past. Shitload. And now I'm at a place that I can help others on their journey. So I hope that you come and join me in the future. I hope that you come and take this awesome mandala ride with me in the future. For now, we're going to clean up this brush. So I put it in some water, scrub it around, make sure that all the paint's off of it. And if you take care of your brushes, they last a lot longer. I got all my brushes really cheap when I first started from Walmart. I just got my first fancy paintbrush set this year. I've been at this for 5 years. So you just take really good care of your brushes, reshape them when you're done, and then you're going to lay them out to dry flat. Hello to whoever just joined the chat. I'm just finishing up this session. We're going to be doing live videos of painting mandalas and drawing mandalas. I'm going to try to do these 3 or 4 times a week. To finish out the session, we're going to draw a card from the Mandala Healing Oracle deck by Denise Jarvie and artwork by Lindy Longhurst, and get ourselves a message before we sign off. She's got some pretty good messages in here. Let's see what messages we have for the collective. It takes me just a minute to shuffle, so bear with me. They're also round cards. Message for the collective. We got 2. Tune in. I guess it's probably easier to turn it for you guys. This is really hard. Here we go. So this is the tune in card. There's little fish. There is somebody over here with the moon in their hand, somebody with the sun, the all-seeing eye, waves, water, planets. This is telling us to tune into the energy. We also got read the energy in the last deck. So I think the message is clear. We need to be reading the energy not only within ourselves, but the energy around us, the energy in our place of work, the energy in our families, the energy of the collective, and just take it in and recognize it for what it is and know that everything is cosmic energy. We're all energy. And so we're going to feel what's happening around us. Reading that energy, we're able to make choices and decisions as to what's best for us. So if it comes to the energy within yourself, taking that time for self-care, if it comes to the energy of toxic relationships, getting yourself out of those situations, toxic workplace environments, all of those things, tune into that energy and make the choices and decisions that are going to help to shift you into a different place, into a different state of being. Cool card. This next card, gosh, it aligns right up. So the 2 cards that we got second here is Daring Rebirth, which we got earlier. And that one I was talking about coming from reading the energy, you're able to like become this new person and transform into this new person. And so by tuning into the energy and reading that energy, we're able to create a new path and do something different with what's been given to us. And energy is energy, so it can shift and change and move. And so we can take dark energy and we can actually make it into lighter, brighter, happier energy. It just takes making the decision to do so. And we have eagle, we have weird dragon thing that looks like it came from Jurassic Park. We got a tree, some seashells, other type of walking lizard, mouse or rat, snakes, kangaroo, tree, emu, more snakes. No, wait, dingo. That's a dingo. So yeah, just in more water and waves. Super cool. Hopefully some of that symbolism resonates for you in your life. Thank you for being here, whoever you are out there in the ethers. I appreciate you hanging with me tonight. I hope to see you next time. And yeah, I'll be posting more information as to when these videos will be coming up. And I will be posting a good time of day that I'll be doing them. But it might be later at night because my kids are in bed. So I hope you have a fantastic day. Oh, hello, Ryan. I know your name now. Yay, that's so cool. Definitely tune in next time. Well, thank you for being here and check out the rest of the video. There was lots of good stuff talked about. Happy to have you here and we will meet again soon. Peace, love, and namaste, my friend. Hasta luego. I don't know how to end this thing though. That's like the saddest part.